Alright, it's about that time again for us to take a look at the S-Class Hero Disaster level. So it's been about 6 months since I last made an update on this subject, and we've had quite a few developments in both continuities of the story, so it's about time for us to update these things. Now, I've already explained everything that goes into this video and how I'm going to grade these guys and estimate what their levels could be. And most of you, if not all of you, have already seen my previous video on this, so I don't really need to explain everything, but if you do need a refresher on the metrics that I'm going to be using, please check out my previous video. I'll have the link in the description. But other than that, I'm also going to be going into webcomic spoilers to accurately assess all of these characters. So if you don't want to know what's going to happen, I suggest you check out now. AMAL Mask. Yes, he is not an S-Class hero, but I consider him one, and he's pretty much the total package. He's very well rounded. Super strong, probably just as strong as Tank Top Master, and exceptionally fast, even for an S-Class hero. And his durability's not too shabby either, as he was able to take a beating from Fura Ugly. Atomic Samurai specifically says that at that time he was equal with Black S, so that's pretty telling of how powerful he is. His only real weakness is against Ugmons, but that's about it. I would say that he's a solid mid-dragon. PURI Prisoner, so he's received quite a few buffs. Just coming into the Monster Association raid arc, he was able to easily take out a fodder demon who Murata alleges was as powerful as Deep Sea King. Now, is that true? Well, it's really up for you to decide, but he has also been able to tank a full power blast from the demon Vacuma, and he was able to take a feline retribution point blank and not even fall afterwards, so that's pretty impressive. But he's also gained a vibration ability, which has aided in his strength to just decimate a wall and a pillar just by touching it. He's also gained the bristle armor, which has increased his durability. And he also has some kind of like regeneration ability too, as he's able to come back from that feline retribution. All of this together, I think PURI Prisoner has finally become a dragon, but a low one at that. Tank Top Master. Unfortunately, the story has still not focused on this character yet, so he does not have the feats on his side like these other S-Class guys have. So until then, he's still going to be pretty much the weakest. His best feat is competing well against Hero Hunter Garo, at least in the beginning of the fight, and we saw his immense strength as he was able to break the ground and lift up that huge boulder, but he's just lacking the feats, like I said, so until then, I can't really grade him any higher than what a high demon would be. Metal Bat. So it's difficult to say definitively how powerful this guy is, because it ultimately comes down to his unique ability of fighting spirit, as to where he becomes more powerful from the more damage that he takes. Now, he could definitely compete against dragons like Elder Centipede, and one himself has also said that he wasn't lying when he said that he could take care of dragon-level threats, and I believe him, but he was seriously exposed by Hero Hunter Garo. Couldn't even land one shot on him. Now, granted, Murata did say that if he did land that one big shot at the end of their fight, he would have killed him, but he didn't, and we don't really have any new feats on him yet. So due to his power varying so much, I can't really say like, oh, well, he's a high dragon or he's this, but I will say that he is a dragon for sure at base level. Genos, and I'm going to be going off of Daedric Genos here, who is stated to be the strongest that he has ever been, meaning that he is stronger than his previous iteration against Elder Centipede and Hero Hunter Garo, who I rated to be like high demon above demon territory. Now also, he has an unbalancing factor to him as to where he is all completely offense, and it really remains to be seen exactly what that means, but we saw that he easily took out the true form of G5, who is able to survive an atomic slash. So I think that's pretty telling of how strong this guy could be, and I think Genos is finally at the dragon level. Flashy Flash, and this is one of the most polarizing characters, especially when it comes to scaling, but I think he's easily one of the strongest characters in the series. He's even more so of a complete package than what AMAL Mask is. He's probably the fastest S-Class hero, at least as far as we've seen. His strength is where it needs to be, and he's surprisingly durable. He was able to take multiple shots from Awakened Garo. I mean, he's so fast that when he moves at a serious speed, it's like time has stopped. And he's also able to evade Saitama the entire time during their training match. You know, barring the end, of course, but that's pretty darn impressive. Now, he doesn't even need to rely on his weapons. Like, if he doesn't have his weapons, he still has some serious martial arts skills to him, and he took care of 2 dragons simultaneously. he is a high dragon through and through, and I feel like if he becomes any stronger, he will go for sure into above dragon territory. Watchdog Man. So we only really still have one serious feat to him, and that's when he was able to clown Hero Hunter Garo. And if we compare that to Tank Top Master, EC Genos, and Metal Bat, we can see that there is a clear difference between them. Now, granted, the stylistic matchup that went into that really helped Watchdog Man, but it's more so evident of his speed and raw power that's giving him his abilities. We saw how he just completely eviscerates monsters. So I still feel that he is, at the minimum, a dragon, but it's difficult to say, like, if he's mid or high. SUPERALLOY Darkshine. So he's probably the physically strongest and most durable S-Class hero until proven otherwise, and he also has that massive feat to him as to where he was able to solo Carnage Mode Carnage Kabuto in the virtual genocide simulation. He was able to take a few shots from Awakened Garo. His only real detriment is that he's weak-willed and maybe lacks in speed possibly, but other than that, this guy is a solid high dragon if there ever was one. Pig God. So this guy is more significant than I originally thought because his abilities have finally been explained, and it is confirmed that he does have a regeneration ability due to his fat, and it's a fast one too. He's also so durable that bullets and blades just can't pierce him, so this guy is just a crazy tank. He also appears to have superhuman levels of strength, and his eating ability is extra significant. But he failed the dragon test as he kind of got dominated by gums, but I do feel that he's probably a dragon in himself. Other than just being one-dimensional, I think he's there. Drive Knight. So we finally got to see how powerful this guy was, and he definitely did not disappoint as he low to mid-diffed a cadre in Neon who I graded to be like mid-dragon. He also has crazy levels of speed, and not just from a mobility, but from a transformation standpoint. And given that he has multiple of those transformations, it's possible that we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg with this guy yet. If they are in fact based on shogi pieces, he still has an all-powerful form and a few others to reveal. But given what we've seen so far, I'm thinking this guy is easily mid-dragon at the minimum, and he very well could be a high dragon, and his potential could even go as far as above dragon. Zombieman. So he has the pretty much broken ability of absolute regeneration. I mean, even if you blow his head off, blow his heart out, he's still coming back. Now, maybe it's not as broken as we initially thought because it does seem to have an exhaustion to it. Because we recently saw against Homeless Emperor, he just kept getting blasted and blasted and blasted, and his regeneration eventually slowed down. So there is some kind of stamina to this ability. So it's not as great, but it is still pretty great, and he has an excellent track record. He soloed the High Demon in Pure Blood and straight up just defeated the Cadre Dragon in Homeless Emperor, and he also has a pretty good level of strength as he was able to bend those metal bars, so he's probably on the A class there. I think Zombieman is easily dragon level, probably not any higher than that though. King, another polarizing character as to where there's some people that think he has no powers and there's some people that think that he does, and I fall into the latter camp there, and that's because I think King truly does have a super luck ability or a meta luck, and this is a real thing. It exists in lore and whatnot, look it up for yourself, but he's essentially manipulating reality to his benefit, whether he really wants it or not. And he can have others fight his battles for him, and he has an intense charisma ability as well that plays into it to where he can just win over both enemies and allies. I'm going to make an entire video dedicated to King's powers and back it up with evidence, so look up for that, but I still think that King is essentially unbeatable until proven otherwise. Disaster level god, no cap. Metal Knight. So I think we've probably only seen like maybe 20% of this guy's power so far, because we've mainly just seen his one Metal Knight robot, which is maybe like a mid, maybe a high demon. I mean, its missiles are pretty powerful, but aside from that, we haven't seen anything. We just kind of have hype on him. Giro graded him in the big four of the S class, meaning that only he, Tatsumaki, Blast, and King could take down Elder Centipede, and that's because of the potential of his full arsenal, which allegedly even the Hero Association fears. So the data book says that he has at least 100 of the Metal Knight robots, and given that he has salvaged Boros' ship, and we saw how powerful that was, and what we've also seen of Child Emperor's Brave Giant, and considering that Child Emperor was his former assistant, I'm assuming that Metal Knight definitely has something way more powerful than Brave Giant. So I'm going to assume that Metal Knight, at the minimum, is a high dragon. he might even go to God level at his full potential. Child Emperor. So he's really impressed me in the manga so far, and that's because he brings a different style to the fight, and that is a very analytical approach. He's more of a strategist rather than just a typical fighter. Now, he doesn't have the combat skills of, say, like a Garo or somebody like that, as it was pointed out by Phoenix Man, that he kind of just swings randomly, but his ability to assess the situation and act accordingly is really on its own level. Now, he also has his backpack, which almost has any answer to any problem that he's going to have mid-fight. And then, of course, if we go even further and he comes prepared to a fight, he can bring Brave Giant and also just have the opponent figured out by that point. So just by himself, bare bones, he's also super powerful. I mean, he was graded to be 200 points higher than Stinger on the Okame mask, and we saw that his reflexes make him fast enough to dodge the evil natural water and survive a shot from Phoenix Man. So I think just by himself, he's probably dragon level, low dragon, and then if he comes prepared with like Brave Giant or just figuring out things, he goes to like mid, maybe even high. Atomic Samurai. So he's also received a buff in the manga, and that came in the form of the Focused Atomic Slash, which was so powerful it was able to vaporize a Black S clone, which is super significant because this is the second instance we've ever seen that happening. Now, he's also one of the fastest S-Class heroes, and he has one of the best techniques in the Atomic Slash. Now, it kind of took a drop in stock as he wasn't able to take out G5, but I won't really hold that against him. But he is also extremely limited in his attack because he relies on his sword. We saw when he lost it, he was basically useless in the Monster Association War, but he is somewhat proven to fight against dragons like Black S and Melzergard, but he could not take them down. So I can't really give him any higher of a rating than mid-dragon. Silver Fang. I also think that he's one of the strongest characters in the series, completely washed Hero Hunter Garo, gave Melzergard the biggest shot that he took in that entire fight, and his durability is awesome as well. I mean, he survived that huge shot from Melzergard, survived a big slam from Elder Centipede, and survived a carpet bombing from Homeless Emperor. But also, when he gets serious and goes into the abandonment, he one-shots cadres like Gums and Fura Ugly. I mean, this is high dragon power if we've ever seen it. Tatsumaki, her feats really speak for themselves. I mean, when we first see her really trying, she's able to divert those bullets right back at Boros' ship, which is still to this day one of the most impressive feats. She pulled the Monster Association in its entirety out of the ground, and Murata claims that she can lift the entire Z City. And we saw when she went against a certified dragon like Giro Giro, it was just playing around with her. It was no difficulty whatsoever, and she was easily capable of fighting multiple cadres at once, you know, before Psychos got the upper hand on her. But even afterwards, in a damaged state, she was able to compete against everyone, essentially. And she also has super fast reflexes, as at the last second before Golden S completely raging demoned her, she was able to throw up a shield. And also, in her weakened state, she could still hold Awakened Garo still for a few seconds. And of course, one said that at her 100% mode, she could probably defeat Golden S. And then later on, we saw that she lifted Saitama with her Esper powers. She's above Dragon, certified. You know, no more, no less. Blast. I talk about this guy so much, I'll keep it brief. He defeated Elder Centipede by himself, defeated the strongest ninja in history, and Fubuki in the data book says that he could defeat all of the S-Class at once and that he is stronger than King. He pretty much is the strongest S-Class hero, even if we haven't seen him yet. At the minimum, he's above Dragon, and he might even be God level. So that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Of course, in the comments, please let me know where you have these guys' disaster levels at, in your opinion. But also, if this video entertains you, please give it a like. And also, I have a Patreon. It gives you access to a weekly Q&A. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.